Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome from the Wigwam, Whitley Bay, as the Warriors are back on home ice taking on the Solway Sharks. I'm Adam Matman, and joining me for this one is Dan Cooper. Dan, well, it's been a while since we worked together, but welcome back.
It has just a little bit, but thank you very much. I'm very much looking forward to this one. I have been all week.
Yeah, this is the first real test the Warriors are going to have this season. Obviously, if you took the three EPL teams out the equation, the Sharks have been the best team in this league for the last 3 years, so they're kind of a team the Warriors need to be measuring up against, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. And the Sharks obviously have lost a few players this year, as Ross Murray's come to us. The few of them have gone to the Leeds Chiefs, so I was very confident coming into this. But seeing the Sharks proved that they are still capable of doing damage against Nottingham. So
indeed, yeah. It's going to be Henderson to get the puck drop. They win it, gets it to Gapper, who in turn gets it back to Kerr, plays it forward. A big hit from Dean Holland early on. Harry Harley will gather. The Warriors, as you probably will notice in the highlights, that they are wearing their training jerseys. They were in the maroon jerseys last night, and with Solway travelling in the white, that means the Warriors couldn't also wear white. So Holland gets a bit of a lucky bounce there, but carries it into his own. Finishes his check as well. Harley bringing the puck in, and then Holland behind the net, looking to try and keep the play moving here. Longstaff cycling it well early on. The Warriors, they got off to a good early start last night. I'm sure they'll be looking to do the same here again. Holland going towards goal, taking Kerr with him. That leaves a bit of space here for Ben Campbell to work with. Campbell, his pass is cut off though, and the Sharks is happy to dump that in. That's going to go for icing surely, and indeed it will. But all the early pressure from the Warriors, Dan.
Yeah, a lot of energy coming out the gates. Through the way Dean Holland putting pressure on the Solway net. They'll be looking to make an impression early doors and fire a warning shot at them, the same as they have to us last night with their scoreline.
Yeah, absolutely. Warriors will go for a line change then. The Kyle Ross unit is out there with Ross Murray. First time he's come up against his old team. And Jordan Barnes, quite a feisty looking line this for Warriors, as Gapper will get there first. A Slovakian import for the Sharks. He played for them last season. There's a crunch and challenge there coming in from Liam Smedley. He'd be happy to get an early hit in. He played ever so well alongside Roland Greetans last night, and the duo are on the same defensive pairing this evening. That's tipped in by Craig Johnson. Keeps it in the zone. Jordan Barnes can't quite control it. And now Murray goes in to help him out. And the Sharks come back out with it. They'll look to try and build from the back, which is their style. I like to have that nice puck possession hockey. Dumped back in. And Murray with the first hit that he's put in. He's looking to try and get open there, coming up against Crane. Murray couldn't control it, but it falls nicely for Carl Ross just in front of him. And that's dumped back in. Dan Pye will collect it off the board. He's got Craig Johnson alongside him. Good to see this pair back again after they both set out last season. Craig Johnson's been out for the last couple. And another big hit from Callum Watson there on Kyle Horn. Big imposing defenseman Kyle Horn. Played the game for a number of years with the likes of the Five Flyers, bringing that experience to the Sharks. Some good work there by Watson. Some shoving going on with him and Cuftree. I think he'll be more than willing to drop the gloves if needs be. And then it comes loose with Phil Edgar, who's looking to try and get it back to maybe Josh Maddock, but he'll turn and go again. Slips it back to Callum Queenan. Of course, he's back in Whitley after 3 seasons away playing in Canada. And another quick line change, a fourth line here, led by the leading penalty taker for Warriors, Martin Craman. That's an unfamiliar role for him this season, but he leads the team in penalties with 12. But obviously, you saw that game last week, Dan, and it's a bit of an unfortunate 10-minute misconduct called on him, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It's quite unexpected, really, especially given the circumstance of it. But kind of got to go with what the referee says. Unfortunately, the end result worked out in our favour, and that's what counts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was just an unfortunate one, but it means he's leading the team in penalty minutes, which that won't end. He won't end the season in that position, I can guarantee it. But here comes Ben Campbell now, trying to create some space for himself. And then Longstaff back to Greetans. Couldn't get the shot away, had to check back as the pressure was coming on from the Sharks on the forecheck. As Holland gets it out wide to Campbell, his shot's charged down as well, and the Sharks doing well right now, just trying to shrink the ice with what the Warriors have to work with. Now the Sharks are going to carry this out with Lockerbie. He'll slip that one forward. He's got Anderson up there with him. And Liam Smedley doing some good defence work, ushering his man into the corner. Keeps him away from the net. And Sam Houston's out there as well, but it will come back for Stanton. Across to Kerr. Kerr's had a number of seasons with the Sharks now. He's a regular on the blue line for that team. That slip forward for Gapper. Goes into the corner there with we've got Anderson as an option. Sorry, Henderson even. And then it comes loose. And the Warriors playing at the boards. Kerr just stopping his man in front of the Warriors boards there. I think it was Ross Douglas who was looking to try and lead the charge. Houston takes Craig Johnson with him. But, Ben Richards is straight in there to try and help him out. Bit of a high stick maybe come up there. I think that's why we've got the whistle. Did you see a good look at that?
Yeah, I think it could be the high stick. Also the ice at that side. It's easy for the puck to get trapped, so it could be that too. That
is true, yeah. It's quite a face-off to the right of Richie Lawson's goal. Won by the Warriors. Carl Ross gets it back to Dan Pye. Pye trying to play it out now. Comes out the zone for Houston to gather. Houston gets a return pass off Kyle Horn. He's being pushed right back here. Some good work by Carl Ross on the forecheck. Forced Kyle Horn to hurry up his clearance as well. And Henderson goes around Dan Pye, looking to carry it in. Ross Murray doing some great work there, tangling with one of his former teammates. They'll know each other well, of course. And then Jordan Barnes looking to get in. He gets a bit of an elbow coming in from Crane there. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but he certainly took one to the head.
He's not happy about it. He stayed with the bench there with a few angles.
Yeah, he did. He went straight to the bench. You're right. As Edgar fans on the opportunity, and then the follow-up shot from Queen, and he just sort of swept that one wide with the backhand, but that one flashed wide of Russell's net. And Callum Watson digs it out the corner to Queenan, over to Phil Edgar, back to Queenan, and then to Edgar. Three of the fastest moving skaters on this line, and then Bowie is open here. He's being Well, that was good defending in the end by Harley, just put him off, but that shot flashed wide. That's a warning sign, because he's very much one of the danger men for the Sharks, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. That's definitely the best opportunity they've had of the game so far, but defended well, and we're in possession again now. So
yeah, Bowie, who's played at a higher level in the EPL, and but he's well settled in Dumfries. He's got Crane with him there, and the Finnish import Heiskanen, who got 3 goals last night in a 5-point game. Bowie got 4 points, so they're obviously teaming up well. And then the shot from Bowie as he goes for a line change. Good save by Lawson, though. Couldn't hold on to it, but keeps the pressure in the zone. But it was a fierce shot from Bowie all the same. Now Longstaff has it out on the right wing. He'll look to carry it in. Drops it off. It forces Russell to come out of his net to play it. And then Holland and Longstaff combine in there to try and force a puck off Kerr. And then Henderson trying to slip it forward. Obviously a slightly different looking team that we're used to in recent years. The likes of Joe Coulter isn't here, and the shot comes in from Greetowns from the point, and Stevie Moore. A number of them have moved on, but still some familiar faces out there. Greetowns once again clears it out from the back, drops it in. Horn will get there first with the fast skating Ross Douglas closing him in. I believe his dad's listening from his holiday, so hope you're enjoying the coverage again, Phil. And Pye receives the puck off Maddock. He plays it forward for Martin Crammond to chase. Russell very aggressive, isn't he, leaving his crease? He likes to come out and play the puck.
Yeah, he's not taking any chances with it. He'll clear it if he thinks he's in any kind of danger, but hopefully we can catch him off guard and capitalise. Yeah,
and they'll have it back now, the Warriors, with Ben Richards. Finds Douglas. Martin Crammond is heading back to the bench. That will allow Carl Ross back out there. It's very unfamiliar looking jerseys. We said the Warriors in grey and black, the training jerseys. There's a bit of an after shot there. It was a bit of a love tap, really, but more than anything, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's just trying to make a point that he shouldn't be on the keeper, but that's what the defence's job is. You've got to protect your keeper, and he shouldn't have got there in the first place. So what do they expect?
Yeah, that is very true. As Carl Ross will take the draw, wins it, gets to Ross Murray out on the left wing. Murray just loses possession, allows Henderson to gather, and that'll be slipped back to his defenseman. on the far side now. Houston tangling up along the boards, just trying to ease it out the zone. Big mid-ice hit there from Henderson on Carl Ross, but it falls nicely for the Warriors. Jordan Barnes with a flick, just went through the crease. Ross Murray couldn't capitalise, but he will win the race to get that back across to Barnes behind the net. No score here early on at Hillheads, but majority of the action has been in the Sharks' defensive zone. And they will clear it, but that's going to have to go for icing again. Yes, indeed it is. But as I was saying, Dan, it has been a pretty positive start from the Warriors, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. Definitely offensively when we've taken the lead here. But the Sharks have done very well to defend. They've taken care of everything that we've thrown at them so far. Let's just hope this face-off proves to be something special for us.
Yeah, Edgar will take the draw for the Warriors up against Henderson of the Sharks. Josh Maddox open here on the point. If you could get it back to him, that would be a nice position for him to shoot, but it's the Sharks who come out with it. And then the Warriors win it back on the second phase of play. Thought about shooting it there, Queenan held on to it. Picks out Watson, who tried to go short side, but that was cleared by Russell. And then the Sharks carrying it out with Houston out on the far side. And Edgar flicks it back in. He'll give chase. Thompson will sweep up and gets it across to Gapper, but he can't control. It comes back into the danger zone. That's tipped back in by Callum Watson. And the Sharks struggling to get it out their zone at this time, but here come the Warriors again with Harley. Flicks it back to Edgar, who fires. And then Stenton in the end, who's really put his body on the line just to flick that one away from danger.
Yeah, definitely had to as well. You can't let Phil Edgar get that kind of space in front of your goal. He did well to defend that there, unfortunately for us.
Yeah, it's a good block. And we'll get a face-off to the left of the Sharks goal. The Sharks come out with it. And then the shot from Dan Pye, that's blocked by Crane, who's going to join the attack. It's Kirby who's going to carry it out. Bowie's open on the right wing, but a good block, and one of the Sharks has gone down. I think there's going to be a penalty call on the Warriors here.
Yeah, it's a cross check. I thought it might be when I saw it, to be fair. Hoping we can get away with it, but no, Emerson caught that. Yeah,
it was on Dean Holland. There was a gasp from the crowd, which led me to believe it might have been a decent hit, but clearly not. As the Sharks player went sprawling, I think it was Crane that went flying there.
They just like to see people hit the deck, I think, but yeah, he got caught out with that.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Okay, as we get a face-off to the right of Richie Lawson's goal. Looks like Ian Bowie is going to go in for this draw up against Ross Murray. So teammates from last season. It's going to be the Sharks who come out with it. They'll keep it in the Warriors zone. Bowie behind the back of the net. Crane ushered away from goal by Johnson, away from the crease. Kerr switches play out wide, and the shot coming in. Good block by Van Oswald. Saw it late, and then the Warriors get it out. Stenton will have to collect it centre red. Tries to pick out Kerr, and then Kerr and Jordan Barnes collide. Barnes going straight back to the bench. That will allow them to make a full line change, while the Sharks will look to go from the back once again. Bowie slips it forward to Stenton. That was Liam Smedley getting that clear on that occasion. Crane will collect the puck from Russell, and that's pushed them back twice now. So it's a couple of good clearances from the Warriors early on. That's killed the first 40 seconds off his penalty, and then it's tipped back in again. Kyle Horn will have to drop back. Struan Tonner's there as well. As the Sharks will carry it through the central zone and drop back in. They'll keep it in the Warriors zone for the time being. Shot from distance, and that's straight into the red basket for Lawson. So, I mean, the first meaningful save he's had to make this game, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, and it would be on the penalty kill for the Warriors as well. I was just going to say we performed really well on the penalty kill against Nottingham. A couple of short-handed goals, but I don't think that's as likely tonight. But as long as we defend well on them, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Henderson and Ross Murray wins this draw this time, but he's sort of loses his foot in, and then the follow-up shot from Henderson just flashes wide of the Warriors' goal. This is the most sustained attack that the Sharks have had, as you'd gather, with the man advantage. Tonner finds Horn. Horn winds one up, flicks off Jordan Barnes' stick, though. That's why you're always told to keep your stick on the ice, because it directs a shot away, and then the follow-up shot was pretty tame. Lawson just didn't really have to move, it just bounced off him and away from danger.
They have defended that one really well.
They did. There's Johnson with the attempted poke check here. It's carried back in by Tonner. Henderson out wide, Pye will go with him. And then Tonner slips and loses his foot in as a big hit comes in from Pye. And then Tonner goes down again. It's tied up in the corner now, up along the boards. And we'll get a whistle on the play with 6 seconds left on this Sharks power play.
I've missed seeing those big hits from Dan Pye, though, I must admit. He's a gentle giant, but when he wants to be and when he needs to be, he's an absolute bulldozer.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, like you say, gentle giant, I think is a term that sums him up perfectly. Earlier on in his career, he had that sort of nasty edge to him, which you kind of need when you've got that size, but he's obviously matured a lot since then, and he's more controlled. But when he unleashes them hits, you're quite right, he can do some damage still. There's a sizable frame. And then that one's cleared. Holland will drop back, plays it across to Liam Smedley, who goes for a rink-wide pass to David Longstaff. Lovely tape-to-tape pass, actually, as he flicks it into a corner for Ben Campbell to dig out. He can only find Crane on the left wing. And then Smedley doing all he can to try and keep it inside that blue line, but he couldn't, and the Sharks are away. And it's across to Bowie, but well cut out by Roland Gritans. The big Latvian no way was that puck going to get past him there. And then the pass comes out to David Longstaff in the neutral zone. He'll carry it in. He's got Ben Campbell racing up inside through the slot. But good defending by the Sharks. They wouldn't allow Longstaff to get that pass away. Nice little tip in by Harley. Just keeps the puck in the zone. But the Sharks will get this one clear now as gets Cuftree bringing it out. Queenan couldn't quite gather. Sorry, it was Heiskanen actually who carried it out. Who we said the Finn who got a hat-trick last night. He's going to be a danger man for the Sharks this season, as that's brought in by Watson. He fires, but comes just wide and back off the boards from behind the net. But probably the best opportunity the Warriors have had.
Yeah, I don't think he was quite expecting that to make it through. But he did well with the shot. He just couldn't finish it, unfortunately.
No, that's right. As Dan Pye goes out wide, plays it onto the opposite side of the rink. It's still in the Warriors zone, though. Sharks trying to get it out. Comes loose now for Phil Edgar. Takes it behind the net. He will carry it out. He will go for the long stretch pass for Callum Queenan to run onto. He will get there first, so no danger of ice. He gets a shot away. Caught Russell a little bit cold there, didn't it? But he was able to react and get it away. I don't think he was quite expecting Queenan to take the shot from that angle. No,
he wasn't. Fortunately for him, it went straight to his body as well. If that had been anywhere either side, I think that could have been the first goal.
Yeah, absolutely. As Smedley, nice 1-2 between him and Gritans. That will send Jordan Barnes away. Horn will just get there ahead of Barnes. Horn looking to get it out. Gritans looking to keep it back in, which he does. Horn will gather a loose puck. 6.5 minutes to go in this opening period. It's still goalless here at the Wigwam. As we'll get a whistle on the play. I think the puck had perhaps just gone up over the boards. But, for the lack of goals, we've still seen plenty of action, haven't we? It's been a good opening sort of 13 minutes or so.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a bit more balanced than it was in the first couple of minutes where the Warriors were piling on the pressure. Since that penalty kill, it seems to be very even. At this point, anybody could take advantage very quickly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd agree with that as Kerr plays it forward to Gapper. Crammond will tip it back in, though. And then Harley will look to fire that one back in. But we'll get a whistle on the play as the Warriors are in an offside position. It's one of them unfortunate plays, really, wasn't it? The Sharks just had cleared it out, and Harley was trying to keep the momentum going, but of course there was 3 or 4 of his teammates ahead of him. Yeah, he tried it, and it didn't work out for him, but I don't think he had many other options when you've got the Sharks players coming towards you at some speed. You've got to make a choice.
No, that's it, yeah. Your natural instinct's always going to be to dump it back in, isn't it? As Henderson goes into a corner, Harley sort of fans on the clearance. Henderson can't quite give it, and then an elbow from Henderson straight into the head of Ross Douglas. But again, I don't know how much of that was intentional, but it certainly caught him in the helmet. As the Inks went back to the bench, Houston looking to dig it out, and it's gone back into the corner. Oak Johnson. And then Dean Holland with a swift pass, and then the clearance by Harry Harley. But that's going to be called for icing on the Warriors. 5.5 minutes to go in this opening period.
Yeah, it looked like he was going for the shot on net there, but didn't quite get it on target.
Which is always worth a go, isn't it, from distance? You never know, you might just catch somebody out.
You never know. I mean, Russell is a fantastic keeper. I mean, people might not know that he's on a 2-way contract with Glasgow Clan. He does play in the AIHL as well. So you might not beat him from that distance, but you may as well try. No, he's certainly no mug, is he? But that's an area that the Sharks are actually quite well off in now. A few years ago they were struggling, and remember Jordan Boyle had to go up there to help them out. But with the likes of Russell there, and of course
Callum Hepburn as well, who I know is listening back in Dumfries. So welcome. Hope you're enjoying the coverage so far. I know he's been the custodian for the Sharks in the last few years, but I think he's busy with work commitments right now. But they do have a lot of good options up there.
They definitely do. I'm just watching it as Russell has some words with Ross Murray there. I wonder if they're friendly words or otherwise. There seem to be some smiles, but we'll see.
Yeah. Maybe he was asking whose turn it is to buy a deep fried Mars bar or something. But, or some iron brew. As that one is looking to come out the zone here, but kept in by Carl Ross. And then Jordan Barnes. It's quite a physical exchange, really. Some big hits going in. And then Murray coming off worse there is an unattempted hit. With, can't quite see who it was he hit there. I think it was Crane. And then that's going to be called for icing on the Sharks. Barnes having a little bit of a word there with Cuftree there. Of course, there was a bit of bad blood last season when there was the brawl right at the end of the game, in one of the games last season. And then with some pretty one-sided suspensions against Dean Holland. But there was that bad blood. And then, of course, the Warriors put the Sharks out of the playoffs. So there's a little bit of a couple of subplots going on, isn't there?
Yeah, and there's always been a rivalry between us and the Sharks as well, with them being slightly further north of us. And you know, we all know Jordan Barnes isn't afraid to drop his gloves and
not at all,
chirp away. So it's an interesting to watch.
Absolutely, yeah. As Campbell fires, hits the side netting. No, the net did ripple, but fans thought for a second it had gone in, but it was on the outside. Just under 5 minutes to go in this opening period. Still goalless here at the Wigwam as Holland looking to get it back to a point to Craig Johnson. Winds one up, fires. Russell spills a rebound. It's in. It's in the back of the net. David Longstaff scores. Scratch right back with a hacksaw. It's 1-0 Warriors.
Fantastic. Absolutely brilliant there. Attacking on the rebound. Bobby's exactly where he needs to be to put that away. Same as he was last week. Amazing.
Johnny on the spot, yeah. I mean, it's great to see him score again. Of course, he got the record for the first player to score in 30 consecutive seasons last weekend. It took him, well, till the second half of last season to get the goal, his first goal last year, but it's a bit earlier this year, and it's his third goal of the season already.
Yeah, brilliant. Longstaff family are doing very well, I think.
Well, they certainly are, yeah. It's a good moment for the household there for the sport and that. As Tonner gets it back, he'll send it across to Kyle Horn. Struan Tonner, who found himself on the blue line again this season, like last year. He's normally a forward, but I was talking to his coach last year, Martin Grubb, and he said during juniors he had him playing back there on D, but he's certainly at home in both positions as the shot comes in from Callum Watson, just fires wide. Somebody's lost a glove out there. Carl Horn looking to get the clearance, gets it across to Tonner. And then out on the far side, it'll be slipped through as Anderson's there, open to him. And carried forward into the Warriors zone now, but into the corner. It'll come round for Jamie Ord. He flicks it back to Maddock, and then that's back forward to Ord. Stenton will just take it off him though. Stenton, one of the younger players on the team, wearing the face cage. Well, he's got a few options open to him. But he's going to opt to take it himself in the end. Goes round his man, big ice collision there between Liam Smedley. And can't quite see which of the Sharks players it was, but it's back in again by Gritans, and then it's just clear, goes over his head this time. Murray has to drop back. Just over 3 minutes to go in this opening period. It's now Warriors 1, Sharks 0. As the clearance by Liam Smedley's charged down. Ross Murray will drop back to help him out. Gapper, he's thrown himself into this challenge as well. Sam Houston's looking in attendance as well, but we'll get a whistle for a dead puck. But the hits are certainly coming in, aren't they?
Yeah, from both teams, and Ross Murray's digging in deep for us as well, which I'm pleased to see. I was very interested to watch them in this game and see how he plays against his old team. So far, so good.
Yeah, absolutely. As we'll get a puck drop here, it comes back to the Warriors for Craig Johnson. And then he'll carry it out. He had Dampai with him, but he'll go himself. It's flicked on, I think. Combination of Jordan Barnes and Stenton got a flick on the puck, but it's going to be called for icing anyway. And we'll get a retake back in the Warriors zone. 2:44 to go in this opening period. Henderson is going to go in for the Sharks up against Carl Ross of the Warriors. Ross wins the draw and Dan Pye sends it along the boards. Kerr steps in and just about keeps it in with Ross Murray coming in to close him down. Carl Ross now slips over but still is able to control the puck, gets it out wide, and he collides with Henderson just in front of the slot, well in the slot I should say, in front of the crease. Houston then will gather, looks to try and carry this one out here. He's got Campbell who's going to cut across here, and then Dan Pye will go past them both, or will he? No, Pye will ease him into the boards. And then it comes back out for Houston, who'll fire. Good save by Van Oswald, saw it late. He was screened a little bit there, and it looks like, was it Johnson who's took a bit of a hit there, and does that hit the camera as well?
Yeah, it's hit the camera, that's a broken lens I think.
Broken lens there for Richie Lawson's dad, Colin Lawson.
Make for a cracking photo though, if we managed to get it.
Yeah, it was, wouldn't it? I certainly heard the clunk, but yeah, at one end his son's just made a save to restore his side's lead, and then as it's come out, it's just hit his dad's camera lens.
Better his camera than him, I suppose.
Well, yeah, indeed, it saved his face, didn't it? So I think that's probably the main thing. That one's cleared by Harry Harley. He's a bit disappointed the clearance didn't leave the zone. He was, see his body language, he was a bit frustrated there. As he'll battle away with Crane behind the net. Someone's lost a glove again. And then David Longstaff gets it out to Harley, who'll slip it forward for Ben Campbell to give chase. Russell will see that first, comes out, clears it. Carl Horn, though, couldn't collect the pass in. It had a bit too much mustard on it. And then it's sent across off the boards. Crane will take it round his man, carries it back in. Tries to go round Liam Smedley, but the youngster pushes him away, and then it's swept up nicely by Harry Harley. Back with the Sharks, though. And then carried back in by Heiskanen. They've not really allowed him much time on the puck, which is obviously an important thing, given that he's their leading scorer this season after only one game. But still, he's being an import, you'd expect him to be leading the team. As that one comes in, Callum Watson has to cycle back out the zone because he's in an offside position. Just under a minute to go in this opening period, and lovely pass by Watson to Queenan back to Watson, and then the follow-up shot from Edgar. Tried to sweep that one home, but Russell, from one side of his line to the other, just saw that one off, and he just read it perfectly, didn't he?
Incredible save. He knew exactly what was going to happen, and he managed to get across to cover it.
Yeah.
Fantastic save.
Yeah, he's kept his side on it here. And at the other end, of course, Lawson making a smart stop as well, so both goalies making some good saves early on. Gapper slips it forward to Houston, who carries it forward, and then Craig Johnson will blast the clearance down, forces Russell to play it, bouncing puck slightly, and then he's blasted in his own man. Jordan Barnes with a follow-up shot, but he couldn't really get that one away. I think he probably had a little bit more time than he realised there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. It was an unforced error from the Sharks keeper there, and Jordan wasn't expecting to be in the position he was. He knew there was men behind him. He had to get a shot away, but yeah, I think he did have time to take another touch or so. Yeah,
as it's up along the boards in front of the Zamboni entrance. That will do it then. So, there's a bit of shoving going on between Ross Murray and, is it Gapper? Gapper's now shouting some abuse at him well behind. He's just, the theatrics continue as he's dropped. Drew and Tonner's having a word with Jordan Barnes, as Jordan Barnes had a word with Gapper. So, it's pantomime season early on here in Whitley Bay, but Gapper was the one who thought he was a big man, shouting some abuse at Ross Murray when he was, a few yards away from him.
Yeah, I think the Sharks will be trying to get under Ross's skin in this game, and that's exactly where they want to be. That's what they're trying to achieve. Ross will have the support of the Warriors behind him as well, like Jordan Barnes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it'll be a fiery second period. I'm very, very excited to see it.
Yeah, well, it's never a dull moment between these two sides, and we currently have a 1-0 lead to the Warriors. Please do rejoin us at around about 15 minutes time for the start of the second period.
See you soon.
Welcome back to the Wigwam as the Warriors currently hold a 1-0 lead over the Solway Sharks. We're ready for a puck drop as Mr. Emerson gets us back underway, and it's going to be the Sharks who come out with it. They'll drop it back in for Harry Harley to give chase. He'll actually leave it for his defensive partner Josh Maddock to get, and then Scott Henderson, he fires, comes off the post, I think, just nicked the frame of a goal as it went behind the net. As Stenton will keep this one in. Maddock will leave it for Harley, sends it along the boards. Stuart Kerr couldn't keep that in, it just bounced up over the blue line and back out as Dean Holland slips it forward for David Longstaff, who just fires wide. But a bright start from the Warriors, straight from the opening puck drop once again, Dan.
Yeah, good start. It's interesting to see if there's going to be any fallout from the disagreement at the end of the last period there.
Yeah, Greetowns with a sighter end from just inside the blue line. But yeah, you're right. There doesn't seem to be anything immediate. But as we said, Ross Murray is making his first shift of the second period. So we'll see if there's anything occurs from that.
For those that are watching the highlights as well, the Warriors have now changed into their proper attire.
Yeah, we can only think that having wore these jerseys last night that they were being washed and they hadn't dried in time. So they are now wearing them. As I think that's my good friend Mark Bone just taking a tumble there, much to the delight of the crowd. Mark Bone, who's normally a good skater, actually. He plays for Newcastle Predators in defence. He's came through the Whitley junior system as well. That one's flicked through for Struan Tonner. And then Kyle Horn, he'll send that one along the ball. Huge clearance, actually just cannons back off the plexi and all the way back down. Henderson will, Heiskanen even will get there first, and then Greetowns will clear it. Tonner can't keep it in as Barnes closes in on him. Forces a turnover, actually. So it was a good play by Barnes. It was almost a hit in slow motion, that is. The Sharks will gather it back with Horn. Ross Murray quick on his former teammate to try and close him down, hurry and rush the pass and try and force another turnover. As lovely pass from Edgar finds Callum Watson through from space, and he was able to get that pass away through a couple of Sharks bodies there. So a good pass by Edgar, and a nice drop back in. Comes across to Queenan, and then the cut back from Watson, and then the shot again from Queenan. Good flick of a pad by Russell, just keeps it away. Back to Watson. He flicks it back in turn to Edgar. Edgar looking to get the shot away, which he does, trapping in front of the net, but couldn't really direct it around the goalie. As Tonner has his man tied up along the boards as we get a whistle on the play. But say early on, but Warriors look like they mean business once more.
Yeah, it's starting very similar to the last period. The Warriors are coming out with the attack there. Some fantastic play. It's a shame that last shot was along the floor. Otherwise, it could have done some damage. It was through traffic. Russell couldn't see where it was. We need to just keep finding this pressure on. Yep,
there's Martin Crammond on that draw. He loses out on this occasion though, and the Sharks will get it. Puck comes across and then cleared. Harley will drop back and gather for a Warriors. First 2.5 minutes gone in this second period. No change in the score, so it's still Warriors 1, Sharks 0. Richards will chase this one in. Russell will come out of his crease to play it, and then Richards gloves it, plays it to himself, and then picks out Douglas, gets a return pass, and then it's just picked off though by the Sharks. That's blasted down the ice as we'll get another call for icing, this time on the Sharks with about 3 minutes gone.
Yeah, some fantastic play there. He picked that out the air very well. Played it to himself and very nearly scored again.
As we've got the entertainment here with Judy Crammond doing the moves to the song. I don't know if we'll get this on the highlights package.
It was funny because we were just saying last week how quiet she'd been throughout the first period.
Yeah.
As soon as we did that.
Well, that's right, yeah. We're on cue as it's the cut back here. Holland whiffs on it though, can't control it, can't get it towards goal, and Greetowns will collect and send it across to Smedley. Smedley picks out Holland at straddling the blue line at the centre ice position, and then he tried to get the pass over to Longstaff. He will flick it into the corner. Ben Campbell will go as well, but the Sharks trying to clear it, kept in well by Smedley. Shot, it's a high rising shot. I think it came off somebody's helmet. Perhaps it was Dean Holland, because he's grimacing as he goes back to the bench. But another good shift by the Warriors, that, and keeping the pressure in the Shark zone.
Yeah, it feels very reminiscent of last week, to be honest. It seems that all the Sharks can do to defend against it at the minute is ice the puck. And then it's getting reset up and fired at them again. Just keep piling this on, and sooner or later we are going to score.
Yeah, that's right. It's the law of averages, isn't it? As the shot comes in from Murray, that would have been a sweet moment for him. I'm sure he was sort of down on one knee as he tried to guide that into that far corner, but just stabbed it wide in the end. Then Murray wins a battle there with Cufftree. He's gone over, and we're going to get a penalty called on the Sharks defenseman. Murray loved that one, didn't he, as he went back to the bench?
Very theatrical as he went down as well. It was great.
Yeah, he's enjoying this battle against his old team. As I'm sure you have to, don't you? I mean, whether you're left on good terms or not, it's you kind of got a point to prove, haven't you? Either way.
Well, yeah, the competitive spirit's always going to be there regardless. So there'll be some faces you'll be pleased to see again, if not all of them, and you'll be having a great time.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah. As Edgar gets it back, sends it across to Harley, fires. Has a good save by Russell again, though, right on the doorstep from Dean Holland. Edgar gets it back. Nice slick passing here by the Warriors. Harley out wide to Campbell, to Longstaff. Back to Campbell. He'll wind one up, fires. Comes off. Might have been even the goal. The defenseman Kerr parked in front of the goalie, Russell. And then the shot from Harley. His cannon shot charged down by Heiskin and gets a follow-up, but again turned aside. Campbell sets Harley up again. Another good block shot by the Finn Heiskanen, and now the Sharks looking to get away here with Bowie, but the puck sort of bounced up and he couldn't quite control it. It's dropped back in. Heiskanen will get it, so this is a good penalty kill by the Sharks. They'll just keep it in that corner for as long as possible, and Harry Harley trying to win it, but it's still with the Finn Heiskanen. He'll turn his man, couldn't get around David Longstaff's arm though, and then that one's cleared. Watson will gather on his own blue line. He'll set Ben Campbell away, and the Warriors looking to make progress up the ice. Campbell looking to try and lay it off, perhaps. He's still with it. He'll eventually find Gritons, and then the shot from Johnson, and then Queenan back to Gritons, faked the shot, ended up setting up Johnson here with another shot, then it's well blocked by Henderson. But some frantic play here. Campbell, this is the second power play unit, although Campbell's double shifting by the looks of it. Campbell picks up a shot, can't beat the goalie on the near side. He's never going to beat him from there. Angle was far too narrow, but all the same, it was good build-up play by the Warriors.
Incredible. Yeah, this is the best I've seen them play in a long time. I don't know what's gotten into them, whether it's the Queenan coming back, Ross Murray coming in, or Lobby's training or what, but they're playing fantastically, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, the power play, it's the best power play we've seen in a long, long time, isn't it?
Very well organised.
Yeah.
The Sharks, admittedly, they are a man down. That is the deciding factor, I think. But we're on the point. We're firing shots in. We're recovering, getting the rebound.
Yeah, well, we're hanging on a little bit there, but it does appear the Warriors have had a penalty called against Callum Watson. So it's for too many men on the ice, we've been told. So well, that's
just as I was saying, more organised.
Yeah, it's one of the worst penalties to take, really, isn't it? One of the more sort of avoidable ones you can take, perhaps. But yeah, it's unfortunate. That will negate the final 31 seconds of the Warriors power play. So we will skate 4-on-4 for those seconds. And then once that's expired, it will revert to being a power play to the Sharks. It's with the Sharks now, though, in the Warriors zone. Smedley thought about coming for it. Lawson got there first and will clear it instead to his good friend Dean Holland. He will then pick out Dean Campbell, but good defending for the Sharks. That one's cleared by Stenton, and then it comes back to the Solway youngster. He'll send it across to Kerr, plays it forward, and then it's dropped into the Warriors end as Sharks return to full strength, so they now go on the power play. Longstaff takes a tumble from pressure from Kerr, and then Kerr falls on top of him, and that's an unfortunate collision at mid-ice. We'll get a stoppage for it, right?
Yeah, definitely accidental, but Longstaff fell on the puck and it was underneath him. There was no way it was coming out. So.
Well, that's right, yeah. I mean, it's the puck gets frozen, so you get a stoppage automatically. 1:17 to go on this Sharks power play. Puck just outside the Sharks blue line. Heiskanen gets it back to Kyle Horn. Holland will close his man down. Horn quickly plays the puck out to Tonner, who goes rink wide with a pass to Bowie off the boards. Dan Pye closes his man down, and then Craig Johnson will sweep this along the boards to get it out to only as far as Drew and Tonner. Edgar trying to win it back as well, as Pye will just sweep that away, keeps it out of the slot, and then the Warriors will clear it down, forces Russell to play it now. Kyle Horn calling for it, gets it, plays it to Bowie, and then Dan Pye turns, clears it. Drew and Tonner picks it up on his own blue line to Horn, back to Tonner. The Solway captain carrying it forward again, but dumps it in. I can only find the logo on Johnson's jersey, and then Heiskanen looking to go short side perhaps, but the Noswell was down low, had that one well covered off, and that one's cleared away. 20 seconds left on this Sharks power play. Jordan Barnes, who's tangled up alongside Mark Bone on the far side, that comes back in. Campbell, Heiskanen clears it out the zone. Harley winds one up, dumps it back in. Russell will leave it this time. Tonner will gather behind his net. 4 seconds left on the power play. And the Sharks, I think, no, it's not going to happen on this man advantage as Callum Watson's back out onto the ice for the Warriors. Heistonen's gone through Queenan and Maddock, though, gets his shot away, but couldn't get past Crammond, who sweeps that one up and gets it away. Stenton will gather at the neutral zone. Queen coughs it up in his own zone. No, Queenan slips it forward to Watson, and then second attempt, Watson tries to sweep that home on the near side, but Russell had it covered. And then Queenan behind the net, got Stenton right with him. Gapper gets a little bit of a flick, couldn't get it round. Edgar will go again as he tries to release his man on the far side. I think it was Houston. Henderson couldn't get there in time, and Lawson will get it clear. Edgar will get it out wide to Watson. Watson now looking to centre it back in, but can't get round his man. And in the end, Edgar digs it out from behind the goal to Watson. Again, tried to go short side, but Stuart Kerr was in the way. And then Edgar will go once more back to Longstaff behind the net. Longstaff in Gretzky's office looking to get the cut back, which he does, but the onrushing Gritans just couldn't get a clean connection of it, with Gapper closing him down. Back with Longstaff in the opposite corner now to Gritans. Edgar will leave it, and Watson, for anyone wondering why Warriors have a Canadian-born and Latvian-born player on the ice at the same time, it's because Phil Edgar is now classified as a Brit. He's a British passport holder, as we'll get a nice and cool on the Sharks. He is, both his parents and all his grandparents are from Jarrow, so he's very much a Geordie. He just happened to be born in Canada and he grew up there, but he's obviously a British passport holder, so he's qualified as a Brit now.
Yeah, that was a bit of discussion last week, but that benefits us greatly, because putting those two on the ice at the same time, and magic happens.
Well, yeah, and you don't have to worry. I mean, it's easy when you got 2 D or maybe 2 forwards, but when you got them in different positions, trying to coordinate the line changes can be a little bit tricky at times, but that negates that. As the Sharks have got in here, can they get the shot away? No, Lawson just watched that one flash past, but still with Houston, Lewis Houston, and then the shot on the near side. Once again, the Noswell makes a save. Henderson can't beat his man, but he still has the puck. Sends it around the boards for Dean Holland to flick on. And then Craig Johnson will clear it, tries to pick out David Longstaff, and he has his one-on-one. Can he finish? Ooh, he shoots this, just drags it wide, but a great position that Longstaff found himself in there. And then Campbell fires, comes off the pads. Maybe he'll have to ask one of his sons how to finish a shot like that, but great opportunity for Lobby. All joking aside, as Campbell will dig it out the corner to Longstaff. Tries to wrap around, and he scored! David Longstaff scores! And he's beaten the goalie like a rented mule with a beautiful sweep home there.
I don't believe that, that was amazing.
Having missed that one-on-one to then score with an audacious effort like that, what a finish.
Incredible, yeah.
He was falling over as well as he got that shot away.
You don't often see that, but that was brilliant, well deserved.
And with that goal, he now moves ahead in the goal scoring charts with 4 goals now. He moves ahead of Harry Harley, so 4 goals in 3 games. It's been a good start for Lobby. So the Warriors now double their lead, and Ben Campbell getting the assist. So 2 goals for Warriors, and both from David Longstaff. So it's the veteran forward getting the job done here this evening, isn't it, so far?
Oh, absolutely. I still can't believe that went in.
Yeah, I mean, it was, we were saying, because he got into that great position, one-on-one with a goalie in acres of space, collected that lovely pass, and just couldn't finish it. But then when it came back round, it was still the same shift, wasn't it, as it came back round, but just to wrap it around as he was falling was some skill.
Yeah, the angle was incredible. Just puts it at Russell's far side, and I don't think he was expecting it to go in. I think he thought that might have been going wide, but
well, exactly, against the goalie of the calibre of Russell as well. I mean, that's it takes some doing, doesn't it? Yeah. Amongst all that, though, and us getting carried away with that goal, Jordan Barnes has got a penalty for the Warriors. So the Sharks go back on the power play. That'll be blasted clear by Rollins Gritans. That will shave the first 10-15 seconds off the clock. As we've got Martin Crammond out there, who normally plays on the penalty kill for the Warriors, and Callum Queenan, who I'm sure they'll love to exploit his pace. As Bowie plays it out wide, he collects the rebound, tries to get it towards goal. Crane can't control, and then Gritans looking to try and get it out. Bowie's back in there, and then Crane will help him out. And Smedley's in there, so both the defensemen for the Warriors are tied up in that corner. We'll get a whistle on the play though. But a minute 17 left on this Sharks power play now, and the Warriors will go for a line change.
Yeah, like the last one as well, we're under heavy pressure here. The Sharks are doing well on their power plays. Haven't scored yet, obviously, from one, but they're doing well on them, and they are piling the pressure on. The shots are coming in. We need to carry on this defending.
Yeah, absolutely. Henderson then will go into for the draw for the Sharks, but it's going to be the Warriors who win it with Edgar. He'll get it back for Dan Pye to blast clear, but the Sharks do just about keep it in the Warriors zone. Pye will look to try and clear it along the boards once again. Carl Ross flicks it on and helps it out. Now he'll try and win this foot race with Tonner, but I think Tonner's going to get there first, which he does. He misses the puck though, and it comes nicely back for Ross. He's up against the boards, but that won't bother him. He'll just be happy to keep the puck high up the ice and away from his goal as possible, with just over 50 seconds left now on this Sharks power play. Carl Horn looking to play it across to Tonner. Tonner goes around Crammond, but not Harley, as he gets his sticking away and forces a turnover, wins it back, and he'll drop it back in with Crammond closing him down, closing Horn down. And once again, he's doing a good job out there, is Crammond, just forcing the Sharks players to make a mistake. And then it's brought back full for Gapper, who fires. And Oswald got the pads down though, made the smart stop. And then that one bounced, I think. Did it bounce behind the goal, or was it behind Lawson? But either way, it was just behind and didn't go in.
Yeah, I think that went across the goal line there.
Yeah,
we were very lucky to get away with that.
Yeah, there's just the reaction of a defenseman afterwards when they thought, oh, hang on. But they'll come out again with the Sharks with Stenton as the Warriors come back to full strength. But that was a very fast-paced power play that for the Sharks. Moved along nicely, not many stoppages, but that was a nervy moment. And the closest they've come to scoring a goal, the Sharks, as Kerr gathers in his own zone under pressure from Jordan Barnes. Edgar will collect in the neutral zone. He'll be forced back to his own end, and he'll find Johnson, who plays it forward to Watson. He'll motor down this right wing and look to get a shot away again, try to go near side, but a bit of pushing and shoving going. I think the puck actually got caught up in the netting behind the goal, didn't it?
Yeah, it just wasn't coming off. And Callum and I don't see who that is, then number 10. It's holding each
Stenton.
other. Stenton wasn't going anywhere. Whistle blows.
Yep, so we'll get a face off just outside the Shark zone, right in front of the Warriors bench. Kyle Ross will go in up against Lockerbie. And we'll get a retake. Lockerbie, who's got Murdoch and Anderson on his wings. This is very much a new look line for the Sharks this season. As Mark Bone drops the puck, we're back underway. It's with the Sharks though. But Ross Murray will collect the loose puck off Thompson. He can control, he will send it around the boards for Kyle Ross. Ross gets it back to Johnson and then across to Barnes. Barnes gives with a cut back, and Murray is desperately going to try and get that goal against his old team, and Barnes with another shot. That one's collected once again by Lockerbie, trying to get it out, but unfortunate bounce keeps it in the zone for him, and that means Ross Murray will take it behind the net. He's got one of the Sharks players who's wrestled him to the ground there. I don't think that will bother Murray too much. He'll love the confrontation as a follow-up shot comes out wide, but that was well held by Russell.
Yeah, Ross Murray did well there. He was speared to the ground at one point, so that's
very disciplined from him, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the Sharks are lucky to have got away with as many things in this game as there have. There's been a few elbows, and that which can only be described as assault. You know. but no, seriously though, they are getting away with quite a lot. But it's the end result that matters, and Ross is very much focused on that. Yeah,
I mean, I'll say one thing for likes of Davey Emerson and Mark Bowen, they do tend to allow the game to flow, which is much better than seeing daft number of penalties called time after time. So perhaps, yeah, there could have been another couple of penalties called, but I'll take that as collateral damage if it means we get a more flowing game, which of course we have so far, and it's been a joy to watch as Dan Pye gets it out the zone, and then Dean Holland, he takes a shoulder high up in the face there as Crane finishes his hit. Heiskanen scores! And the Finn has just cut the Warriors lead in half here, and that is why you don't give him space like that, because he's just unleashed a rocket of a shot there as Heiskanen. Yeah, that was a cracking shot, absolute snipe by him in top corner. Richie didn't have much chance getting that. No, Jarkko Heiskanen, who hails from Savonlinna in Finland. It's his first year in Solway, but spent last season in the French second division with Marseille. Has spent the majority of his career in Finland though with Kalpa in Kuopio in Finland. Played through the junior system there, and had a couple of seasons in the Mestis League, which is the second tier of the Finnish league. Very strong standard indeed, and probably is on par with Kim Miettinen, who of course played for the Sharks for a season. Is well known in this league, so he's on par with him at the very least, if not a little bit better. As that one comes through, Houston can't gather, but Ben Richards will. Richards gets it back to Johnson. Johnson fires, and then that one will be trapped between the legs of Russell with just over 6 minutes to go in this second period. It's now Warriors 2, Sharks 1. We'll get a face-off in the Shark zone. It's going to be to the left of Russell's goal. And we will get Lockerbie taking the draw up against Phil Edgar. Puck's dropped. Warriors win it. Gritans with the shot. Comes off the feet of Horn. And then there's a loose puck and a scramble. And then you've got Tonner, who's essentially acting as a goaltender there. Comes back to Edgar. Still with the Warriors as Smedley was bundled over. Now Edgar will gather at centre red, and then it's shot back in by Gritans. Edgar can't gather. It will come back across to Watson, and then off the ball. That took an unfortunate bounce. He was trying to find Phil Edgar. He will find him on the second attempt, and then the cutback from Watson, and that was a very dangerous pass indeed, because that nearly banked in and went into the goal. So almost caught Russell out on that occasion, but Sharks live to fight another day as Tonner, straddling the red line, just drops it back in. It's back with Gritans, who will send it across to Liam Smedley. Smedley will get it out the zone. Murray gets a flick on it, but Stuart Kerr will collect at centre red. He'll drop back into his own zone, plays it forward to Heiskanen. Heiskanen evading the challenge of Smedley, and he'll drop that one in. And we'll get a call for icing on that play, so that'll be pulled back into the Shark zone. But well, I mean, that goal for the Sharks all came about with that late hit on Dean Holland, right along by the penalty box entrance, and it just opened nicely. But Warriors gave Heiskanen far too much room down here, didn't they?
Yeah, too much room, too much time, and he's got a rocket of a shot. You can't afford to give him that much space, and we've paid the price for that. Suddenly that seems to have breathed new life into Solway, and now we are back to a very balanced game that we were before. We're going to have to extend this lead if we want to win. I
quite agree with that. It's like you say, it's given them that bit of momentum, bit of confidence, where perhaps they thought with Longstaff's second goal it was just easing away from them, but they're right back in it here. And as I say, this Sharks team they've lost some important players, but they're still going to be strong this season. Mark my words, they'll be there or thereabouts. And I know many people are tipping the Warriors to for favourites this year, but I think in Solway and Solihull they're going to have two formidable opponents that they can't just assume they're going to beat. Because Ben Richards closing Tonner down, forcing a turnover, but the Sharks will get it out, well, momentarily anyway. But they drop back in. Tonner clears it out. Crane gets it out the zone this time. Finds Bowie off the boards. Harley cutting across, just stopping his man from advancing. And then collected by Richards. Back with the Warriors with Josh Maddock, who gets it out the zone. Carl Horn will have to drop back, and he will leave it for Stenton, his defensive partner. Some good hit in there by the Warriors on the forecheck. That was Phil Edgar. Just over 2:20 left in the second period. Edgar still with his man, trying to stop Gapper from getting there. And now Harry Harley as well. And Lewis Houston keeps it in the Warriors zone. No, Warriors desperately trying to get it out. And they will off the boards to Queenan. Watson trying to keep up with him here. Two fast skating wingers. Watson trying to perhaps get a cut back here. Edgar was open, but in the end he'll have to wait for it to cycle back round. Queenan, he will try and dig it out, which he does. Gritans will keep it in, off the boards, or round the boards I should say. And then it comes out the zone. Liam Smedley will gather under a bit of pressure from Scott Henderson, but did well. Gapper's gone round him row. Good kick save by the Oswald. There's a good opportunity for that for Gapper. And then Murray collects a pass off Barnes. Murray being eased into the corner away from goal. He'll slip it back over for Jordan Barnes. And then Henderson. And then Dampai. That one's going to come back in for Stenton to clear up for the Sharks. Just over 2 minutes left. Murray, he can't quite control. Henderson will flick it on. And then Dampai will keep it out the Warriors zone. Carl Ross, he drops it back in, forces Russell to come out, and he almost gets collected by his own defenceman then, Stuart Kerr. But very keen and active to get out that crease and play the puck. But he almost hit it off his own man. Longstaff, who's having a great game so far, picks out Holland. Holland couldn't carry it in though as the Sharks defence stood firm. Holland will go again. This time he'll slip it forward for Ben Campbell, who I think's been relatively quiet this evening. I think the Sharks are doing a good job defending him, but it's created a bit more space for his line mates, and in particular David Longstaff, who's got them 2 goals. Campbell, that pass just took a flick off one of the Sharks defencemen, so it sort of got deflected away from him. Campbell will get it back now. Just over a minute left in his second period still. Warriors 2, Sharks 1. Tonner, and he's holding off Longstaff as he tried to set up Harley. Harley going for cut back. Campbell will fire. Came off the pad of Russell. Back into play. Campbell once again to Longstaff. Longstaff, maybe can he get the shot away? He can! He scored a hat-trick! He scored a hat-trick! I've seen that fish before. It's Warriors 3, Sharks 1.
I honestly don't know what to say about that. I'm lost.
But he's rolling back the years this evening, isn't it? You know, 3 goals for his team.
I mean, you know, he's a legend. There's no two ways about it. He's a legend, but this is just something else, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, last season his numbers were down. He was struggling a bit more, but he seems to have, you know, come back this season re-energised, and it's like the David Longstaff of old, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's maybe a bit older than some of the other players, you might say. He sets up a lot of the goals. He puts a lot of the passes in, that creates plays, but to score a hat-trick 3 games into the season is incredible. Against
Russell as well.
Yeah.
It's one of the better goalies he's going to face this season, if not the best, in fact, with Flavel having retired. So I mean, that's some achievement. There's Heiskanen away here. Can he get his shot away? Tried to set up Ian Bowie on the far side. He might have been better off going himself there, considering the position he was in. Now he's in one-on-one, but the puck won't sit for him. Carl Ross just bundles him over, and the Warriors will sweep that one clear with Ben Richards, and then Barnes will flick it into the corner with about 25 seconds left in his second period. Now Warriors 3, Sharks 1.
Kyle got 2 for 1 there.
He did, yeah. Like Skittles going down, weren't they? As tied up in the corner with 10 seconds to go. We will get a whistle on the play. All 3, of course, have played at the Elite League level with the Newcastle Vipers, so they know each other well. As Henderson gets a shot away, that come off the post, it beat the Oswald, and then the follow-up shot, and Lawson did well there just to get back across, because there were shots raining in from one side and the other, and then David Longstaff, who's in the mix of everything right now, not happy with something that went on there. He's sitting on top of one of the Sharks players, and he's obviously seen something that we perhaps didn't see firsthand, but he was very quick to clean somebody out because he saw something that he was not happy with.
Yeah, one of the Sharks was on the ice. It looks like he was wearing a cage as well. It could be a youngster. I'm not sure what happened.
I think it was Stenton, yeah, number 10, and Lawson's just smashed his stick on the. Welcome back to Hillheads then, as the Warriors currently hold a 3-1 lead over the Solway Sharks. We're back underway here then at the start of the third period, and it's the Sharks who come out with it straight from the face-off. That's dumped back in. Harry Harley will gather as Richie Lawson thought about playing it, but in the end just sort of eased it towards his defenceman. That one's dropped back in, and we'll get a whistle on the play. I believe that's for icing on the Warriors. So it's quite an entertaining second period, wasn't it, with 2 more goals for Longstaff and a little bit of a melee at the end, but we didn't really see why that came about or anything, did we?
No, still no news on what's gone on with that, but everybody seems to be backing up and skating, so let's just see what happens with it now.
Yeah, both periods ended quite in an interesting manner, didn't there? A lot going on. As, Campbell gets a cut back here. Holland just couldn't connect on that one. And then Henderson coming back the other way. Houston, he slips it forward. Longstaff looking to try and cut that passing angle off. But the Sharks got a shot away anyway from Gapper. And then Roland Greetown's looking to try and get it out, but Gapper all over him, just closing him down. But that one eventually does get it out. Kerr will tip it back in though. Carl Ross looking to send Greetowns away. Greetowns, the puck just wouldn't sit for him, but it will for Carl Ross, who takes it into a corner. It'll be won low by Lewis Houston. Sends it over to the other side for Ross Murray. He's battling away nicely in the corner. And then Barnes couldn't keep it in, but Dampai will. He blasted at Henderson, who will now carry it back out. And then Craig Johnson will clear it. That's going to come all the way back down and then call on ice. No, Ryson's waved off of what was going to be a call against the Warriors for sure then, but officials happy just to wave it on. Kyle Horn will take his time before playing that out. That's going to come all the way back down, and that will be icing this time on the Sharks.
Yeah, we'll take that one. We'll let that one go.
Yeah. So it'll be pulled all the way back down into the Shark zone. Warriors will go for a full line change. The Dean Holland line will be back on the ice and take this draw. And it looks like it's, well, of course, it's the same line that was out there before, but it looks like Heiskanen is going to take this draw for the Sharks. And he wins it. But the puck comes loose for Longstaff, who sends it along for Ben Campbell. Maddock is open, but he'll slip it back to Longstaff in the corner. Longstaff going to put it into the slot area. But Struan Tonner easing it away, and the Sharks trying to get it out, but tipped back in by Maddock, and then Ben Campbell looking to carry it back in the zone, but he couldn't without the Sharks intercepting. And now Heiskanen looking to bring it back in. He sets it up nicely for Crane. He tried to then return the pass to the Finn, but the pass went astray, and that allows Harley to clear. Stenton across to Kerr, and then Kerr goes for the long dump in. Cannon's back off the board. That's going to be called for icing though, so going to face off back in the Shark zone.
Yeah, we'll take those all day long. It might take a bit longer to run the clock down, but you know, suits us.
Yeah, well, as it stands, obviously the Warriors are sort of inching closer to a third successive win, but there's still plenty of hockey to be played here. It's only a couple of 2.5 minutes gone, so plenty of times for the Sharks to get back in it. And as we said before, you can't write off a team that has got so much experience still. Still some good players there, and particularly in Heiskanen, who's a particular dangerous player. As that one comes back in, but Sharks will gather at centre ice. They'll tip it in. Smedley across to Greetans, and then across to Watson, who will get the return pass from Edgar, and then try to get the cutback for Queenan, but Queenan advanced too far forward to collect the puck. Murdoch then with the shot away, good glove save by Van Oswald, and he'll be more than happy to get his mitt on that after what was a difficult end to the period in a way, wasn't it, with M2 save? Even though he made the saves, he was a little bit frustrated at the end.
Yeah, he made the save. He wasn't too happy about it. I think it was just being left on his own. But as we talked about in the break, I think a lot of the players were watching what was going on with what he had missed, so the concentration had lapsed a bit. But he made the save, so that's what's important. That's
right, yeah. Ben Richards now, he will look to play Jamie Ord in. Ord will give chase. Russell is out of his crease again, but Ord's still with it, and then he tries to slip it back to Richards. And then Martin Crammond, who's a third member of this line. And then a good shove there by Ord on Lockerbie. Nice check as they go past Warriors bench. We're going to get it pulled back for icing on the Sharks once again. So the Warriors will make the change here. Of course, as we said, the Sharks can't make a change. Dean Holland wins the draw, gets it back to Harry Harley. Harley slips it over to Ben Campbell, fires. That's going to go straight into the glove of Russell. And we'll get a retake on the face-off. But now the Sharks can make that change, so the Gapper Houston Henderson line is back out there. And it's won by the Sharks. Kurt, although we gave it away to Ben Campbell, that's probably the last person you want to give it to. Henderson with a quick break here, slips in Lewis Houston. Maddock trying to put his man off, and Houston did lose his footing but still kept control of the puck. Henderson back into the area, but Gapper couldn't really get a clean connection on it, and he just stabbed it wide, but I think Lawson had that one covered anyway. Maddock trying to get it out the zone. Campbell having to evade the referees to get it out, which he does, and then Longstaff, who's be looking for goal number 4 this evening, sends it across to Campbell, fires, came off either a block or a knob of a stick of Russell's stick there, and just away from goal. Campbell still with it, sends it back in, and Holland couldn't control. That allows the Sharks to, well, attempt to ring it out, but Warriors do just about keep it back in as Kerr blasts it around the boards. Henderson flicks on, and then that one comes back for Greetans to collect deep in his own zone. He's got Carl Ross as an option going forward. Will he go for a long pass? No, Greetans will keep it with him for now. Trying to pick out Jordan Barnes on the left wing. He flicks it in. Ross, who continued his run, has actually got there behind the net now. Gets it back to Greetans. And then Greetans sends it at the boards, but Carl Horn will get that one out. Now, not sure that's going to be called for a hand pass, maybe, was it?
Yeah, blatantly. I don't know why he even thought to do that. It was...
I assumed he dropped it and played it, but he must have just like rolled it straight out, did he?
Yeah, it's like an underarm ball straight out. I don't know why he even thought he'd get away with that.
Well, for someone as experienced in calibre of Carl Horn, I'm surprised. I mean, it was that ludicrous. I assumed he must have dropped it at his feet and then played it with a stick, but clearly not. No. There's Watson sends it over to Callum Queenan. Watson again. He's got Edgar with him as well, and Queenan will pick out Edgar behind the net. Canadian trying to lay it off there, but straight away Heiskanen stole it off him, and he brings it into his zone. There's such a fast skating team, the Sharks, they always have been, but look even quicker this year as Watson's in alone. He's got Stenton just easing him away, though he had no real passing option there, so Watson just has to give the puck up, unfortunately, but the Sharks will clear it. That will be another icing call on them. That's about the 4th or 5th time they've done that in the first 5.5 minutes of the game, of this period, sorry.
Yeah, it's an interesting tactic, really. I mean, that one looked fairly unintentional, to be fair, but like I said before, we will take these all night long. It's no skin off our nose.
Absolutely, yeah. As Dean Holland's going to take the draw for the Warriors, which he wins against Heiskanen. And it's back with the Warriors with Harry Harley. He was sort of falling down as he made that shot, but Longstaff couldn't direct it towards goal either. And still in the Shark zone for the time being. Campbell out on the right wing now. He'll collect the puck, send it over to Holland, who will leave it for Longstaff. Longstaff back in Gretzky's office. Looking for a cutback, but once again, Stuart Kerr defending well, just wouldn't allow that pass to find its recipient. And back behind the net again with Dean Holland. Holland will send it over to Harley as David Longstaff goes back to the bench, allows Jamie Ord onto the ice. Good to see him getting some more ice time again. As we said, he got the Man of the Match award last night with a good performance from him, and then the cutback, far too heavy of a touch. Dean Holland will go back to the bench rather than chase that one down, as Richie Lawson will send the play back up again. And then Campbell, who's getting hooked. I mean, that's so blatant that the Stenton stick, he'd had to let go of it because the stick was still caught underneath Campbell's arm there and into his shirt. Yeah, and he must have let go of it just in time because again there's no call there. So no call. But I mean, it's pretty blatant though, wasn't it, when the guy's skating off and he's got a stick under his arm. So Martin Crammond will go in for this draw, wins it for the Warriors, and then Richards gets it back to Greetown, who in turn picks out Richards again. He'll find Jamie Orr behind the net. And then Struan Tonner, he fans on the clearance. That plays in Ben Richards, a babyface assassin going near side, but couldn't beat Russell on that occasion. Smedley collects it centre red, and he'll fire that one back in. Forces Russell back out of his crease. As we say, he loves to get out the crease and play the puck. There's something going on the bench there. Someone's just thrown some hockey tape there from one end of the bench to the other, nearly cleaned out the coach as they did so, as we get a stoppage here. And 7 minutes gone in this third and final period. It's still Warriors 3, Sharks 1. As we'll get a face-off in the Warriors zone. I believe that was for intentional offside. Mark Bone with the puck, ready to drop it. Henderson just about won the initial draw, but the puck bounces nicely for Craig Johnson, who finds Jordan Barnes out on the right wing. Barnes and Gapper tangling, and a big hit from Pye, just keeping Gapper away from Barnes. And then the second big hit from Pye. Johnson gets it through to Barnes, who gets a flick on it. That'll allow Ross Murray to chase down his man. And, back across into the Warriors zone for Pye. Gapper can't control, and Carl Ross, it wouldn't sit for him either. That allows Tonner to dump it back in. Lawson will come out, touch that one up, leave it set up nicely behind the net. And then Lewis Houston, he couldn't control. Callum Watson with a heavy touch, but Edgar will fight. Well, he shanked that one, but he's always asking a lot of him out on that far left-hand side. Tonner eases it around the boards, won't leave the zone though. Watson keeps it in, and then Queenan looking for a cutback. Watson can't control. That's kept in by Maddock, and then a shot again from Watson out wide. Maybe didn't get the power in the shot, but it was probably more on target and caused Russell more problems than his one a few seconds earlier. And then Queenan, he'll chase this into a corner, but it's going to be Cuftree who gets there first. And then back to the Sharks. Kerr, he'll look to get it out. Comes all the way back down, and this one will be gathered in nicely by Richie Lawson. He'll flick it back out for Campbell out on the right wing. Campbell sends it back in, and then Dean Holland digs it out the left corner. Campbell goes across to a right wing with Stenton closing him down. As we said, they've done a good job on him this evening of the Sharks. Not really allowed Campbell the room to work with. Got a couple of goals last night in Sheffield against the Sutton Sting, but so far being kept off his score sheet. It's been the David Longstaff show. And, that was cleared by Smedley, but only as far as Heiskanen. And then the linesman having to duck down there as the puck nearly takes his head off. Horn with a massive blast from just outside his own blue line. Bounces back off the logo of Richie Lawson's shirt. And that one will be cleared out nicely in the end by Liam Smedley. He'll find Ben Richards out on the right wing, and then Jeremy Ord trying to steer that one home as well. Pye, he'll fire that one in. Bit of a tame effort in the end, but Russell's going to take no chances with that, and he'll just gather that one in. Yeah, that won't trouble Russell at all. He'll be thankful for that. But the shot going the other way there, very ambitious effort, but cracking shot nonetheless. Yeah, it was, as Martin Cramond will take this draw for the Warriors. Jamie Ord one side of him and Ben Richards the other. Cramond just about wins it, but has to wrestle his way past his opponent in the face-off circle to collect the puck. Shark get out the zone. Pye will gather just in front of his own blue line, keeps it away from the Warrior zone. Richards will leave it, Cramond will go in, and then it's come back out for Pye to gather. Just over 10 minutes left in this third and final period. So Warriors 3, Sharks 1. As Warriors looking to get it out, and the Hare's scored, and there's a bit of a delay there in a reaction from the Warriors defence. It just seemed to stop, and Hare just saw the puck nicely and thought, well, I'm having that, and just fired home as the Warriors defence was like statues there. Yeah, we've been punished for that mistake there. I think there was a bit of confusion between the players, and the opportunity was there, and they've taken it, so it's a close game again. It really is. It's now Warriors 3, Sharks 2. So once again, Solway not going away as you'd expect. We said they'd be there or thereabouts, and they will cause the Warriors problems. And we'll get a face-off at the centre circle, centre face-off circle, as Murray looking to carry that one in. Henderson gets it back low, and it's very much with the Sharks in the ascendancy now. Henderson fires, just sent that one wide though, but the Sharks are in the ascendancy. And so they can smell blood now, and they'll want to try and tie this one up. Got a bit between their teeth. As Barnes flashes one wide, just through the crease. Kerr can't quite gather, and then behind the net is Jordan Barnes in the corner. You're going to call him by his dad's name. Ross Murray can't quite control that, allows Stenton to carry it back out the zone. And a very determined looking Sharks team now, as they're well back in it within one goal. Henderson fires, but closed down by the good work by Rollins Greetans, who I think's had a very solid game back there. Greetans will leave this one for Smedley this time. Smedley carrying out, and he's going on a slalom-like run, going around one man in the next, and then sends it out wide to Watson. Watson sends it back through the crease, but nobody really there to capitalise on it. Queenan will hustle and win the puck back. Edgar's open, and he'll send it around the board for Watson behind the net. Watson maybe with a cut back, but Sharks just getting it away. I think combination of Struan Tonner and Houston, and then Watson whiffed on that chance as he tried to go near side. Just about 8.5 minutes to go. Then Warriors 3, Sharks 2. As that one will be cleared by Struan Tonner to Dan Pye. Pye will fire it back in. Comes over for Horn. Tonner, he'll get the clearance once again, and Houston can't quite control. Maddock will fire that one in. Russell leaving his crease, but couldn't quite gather it in either, so we'll leave it for Carl Horn. Horn across to Tonner. Maddock keeping it back in, and Campbell behind the net. See if he can do some work from back there. Holland's going back post. He's open if he can get it to him, but in the end, Holland just has to shuffle the puck back to Harley. Bit of a tame effort as Russell pads that one away, and then scramble in front of the net as Campbell trying to get it away, but Carl Horn just uses one of those sizable arms just to keep him away from goal there. And then Lockerbie carries it back in, and the shot from Heiskanen. Warriors will win it back though, and Dean Holland with the long stretch pass. That's going to be called for icing. And finally a chance for you to speak now.
yeah, take a breath, Adam. You know, it's. I think that'll come as a relief for the Warriors there to break up the play a little bit. They were under huge pressure there, scrambling a bit in the defensive zone and pucks bouncing all over the place. So I think they'll welcome that, and now they can take a minute to compose themselves in it. But they are on the defence again, but we've defended well so far. So hopefully we can break out from this.
Yeah, absolutely. Henderson on the draw, but comes out to Warriors. Maddock will clear it. Longstaff will help it on, but only as far as Stenton on the centre red line, who for lineman, he's had a very good game back there for the Sharks. Longstaff's got in behind Kerr. He's batting away with Kerr, and then Kerr's hauled him down. A bit of a high stick, but Longstaff's not really complaining about it. He's just getting on with it. He's the experienced campaigner, of course. He's been there and done it all. I think it was the crowd that maybe reacted more than Lobby did to that. Yeah,
the crowd definitely thought there was something in that, but I'm not too sure. Nothing blatant.
No, there wasn't. I think the stick naturally was riding up and maybe caught Lobby, but I mean it was something and nothing really, and Lobby didn't seem injured by it and didn't seem bothered by it either, so nothing really to report on that as Henderson digs it out from the boards in that corner. We said sometimes the ice isn't at its best. And then Retons will watch that back as Lawson covers it up. Just under 7 minutes to go now. Still Warriors 3, Sharks 2.
It's a lot more tense now.
It really is, yes. Could be a long 7 minutes actually, couldn't it all? Yeah. 6 minutes 59 to be exact. But yeah, it's probably a closer game than most people thought was going to be, really.
Yeah, if Longstaff could just get on the ice and score a fourth, that would be great.
Very nice, yeah. Imagine if he had both his sons out there, you could have a line of Longstaffs, couldn't you? It would be interesting to see. I'm sure Newcastle United wouldn't want their star midfielders risking injury or turning an ankle out on the ice.
I was going to say great footballers, but I'm not sure how they do on the ice.
Actually, from what I've heard, Sean, in his younger days, was a very, very good hockey player, and I think it was a very close call that he might have ended up playing hockey rather than football, but of course there's a lot more money in football than there is hockey in this country, so I think he was persuaded to continue playing football.
It's not a bad choice to have, Newcastle United or Whitley Warriors.
Well, it's not, it's not, is it? No. Heiskanen goes in for a draw, wins it, comes off Lutz's leg, and didn't really do him much favours as it allows the Warriors to clear it. Horn will send it back across the ice for Lewis Houston to carry back in. Dan Pye thought about bundling him over, and then Houston tangles with Callum Watson. Puck comes off the boards. Queenan can't gather. Russell, of course, is there first. He's the stereotypical sweeper keeper, really. He likes to come out and clear it every chance he gets. Stenton up from the back. He'll just run out of room in the end. That allows Harry Harley to make the clearance. Can't quite get it out the zone though. Harley will have to drop back again with Heiskanen closing him down. Sends it across to Josh Maddock. Maddock will get it out for Watson to flick on, and then Richards will collect the loose puck. Goes round Kerr. Can't quite get the cut back though. And in the end, he'll have to watch it go around the boards, loses possession of it, and then the Sharks will clear it. Smedley will gather and then sends it across to Maddock. Maddock will drop it back in for Russell. And then Bowie, who's had a quiet game by his standards so far. He's maybe missing Joe Coulter, who's played on his line for quite a lot in the last couple of years. Gapper can't control. That comes back off the boards for Dean Holland to collect. Holland across to Liam Smedley. Smedley fans on the first attempt, but still gets it round Bowie and forward. Stuart Kerr will now collect the loose puck in his own zone, carries it forward. Goes round Carl Ross, takes it into a Warriors zone, but Greetowns is there, and Kerr has to give the puck up. Comes back out Ross Murray now. He will look to go around his man across to Campbell. And then good defensive work there by Kyle Horn. He read that pass well and just dropped to the ice with his stick to cut that out. Johnson fires, comes back off the pads of Russell. And back come the Sharks now. It's opening up a bit. Gapper goes round Barnes. He's going to go on one-on-one here. Fires. Got like he beat Lawson, but also beat the goal as it flashed wide of a post. Barnes will then sweep it clear. Just under 5 minutes to go. Warriors 3, Sharks 2. As it's collected by Struan Tonner. Houston couldn't gather. Back with the Warriors. Jordan Barnes flicks it back to Maddock. Bit of a risky move, but I think he thought it was best to keep the puck in possession of the Warriors and away from the Sharks. Tonner collects it right on the red line, and then he's fired. Struan Tonner's tied it up here, and the Sharks, having been 2 goals down, have now tied things up. It was a bad giveaway, and somebody with Struan Tonner's experience was always going to punish that.
Yeah, it was a nasty bit of play. Dumping it back into our own zone wasn't the smartest idea, but again, like you say, try and keep possession, but to give it to someone like Tonner in that kind of room is going to put it away.
And that's exactly what he did. He's well experienced. He's the captain of the Sharks. And with 4 minutes 26 to go, it's now Warriors 3, Sharks 3. This is why we said it's always best not to get carried away. I know the Warriors have been sort of inserted as odds-on favourites for a season, but that's doing a great disservice to the Sharks, who've been the team to beat really in the last 3 years. If you ignore the likes of Hull, Sheffield and Telford, Sharks have finished 4th the last 2 years and won the Grand Slam the year before that. As Longstaff looks to carry it back in the zone. Maybe the Warriors have got a reply here as Holland takes it into the corner. Henderson will go with him across to Ben Campbell. Campbell again, but Holland can't control, but he'll flick it over to Longstaff, keeping the puck moving. Campbell behind the net, looking to get into some space, but Stenson staying with him. And then Holland and Campbell looking to try and maybe go for a wraparound. And then Campbell again, can he fire? No, Henderson got in the way of that shot. Smedley stepping up, sends it back in. And then Kerr coughs that one up to Longstaff, back to Watson, who fires. Sorry, Smedley even. And it was Liam Smedley with a shot. Maybe hit Ben Campbell on the way through, but he's getting back up now. As well, it's certainly not gone to plan, has it? Because Warriors looked more than comfortable with that 2-goal lead, but without ever being in a massive winning margin. But they looked comfortable for it, and now the Sharks, just like that, have got those 2 goals back. Yeah,
absolutely. But we've seen how quickly games can turn around, and we've come back immediately and started the attack. But it's just going to be a case of putting it in the back of the net.
Yeah, it will. Horn gets it back again. Lockerbie goes out wide to Houston. Houston round Pye, fires. Lawson having to be quick to react to that, was expecting the rebound perhaps to come back into play. In the end it comes out wide onto the boards, and then Struan Tonner, he will drop it back in. Dan Pye will gather, just over 2 minutes to go. Warriors 3, Sharks 3. Dan Pye off the boards, Queenan can't gather, allows Stenton to recover. Finds Lockerbie. He will have a lot of time on the puck here. Goes round Carl Ross, takes it into the Warriors zone. Richards sticking with him though, doing a good job, ushered him away from goal and into the corner. And then Josh Maddock will collect the loose puck, looking to get it out the Warriors zone as quickly as he can. And then a nice little flick on by Carl Ross. Ross Murray trying to gamble on that, hoping it will come into the zone. Unfortunately, it's going to be called for offside, and Ross Murray isn't happy. I think it's the right call though, but it was just unfortunate. He gambled on the puck coming through, and it just sort of deflected on the way through and meant it put him in an offside position.
It's definitely the right call, but it was a little late.
It was, yes.
Ben Richards there, I think it was, who was away, so
yeah. Holland wins the draw right outside the blue line of the Shark zone. Greetowns drops it back in. 2 minutes 25 to go. As Ben Campbell goes out wide, looking for the cut back once again. He'll not get it the first time. He'll go for a wraparound. Can he get the shot away? No, as Stenton steals it from him. And now he's got to break on for the Sharks, but then he has to just drop it in as he realised there was too many maroon shirts back there. Greetown's looking to try and clear it. He'll sling a glove out and he will just deflect it away and then gather it in with a stick. 2 minutes to go in the game. Barnes couldn't control, back with Struan Tonner. And then Gapper in front of a Warriors bench. Edgar forward to Watson. Watson will carry it through. Can he get the shot away? No, he's been eased away by Carl Horn. And then it sat nicely in the high slot, but nobody there to fire that one home. Back come the shots with Gapper. And then the shot deflects off Dan Pye. He did well just to get a leg in the way of that and diverted away from goal. Lockerbie gathers, keeps it in the zone, in the Warriors zone, and then Craig Johnson back around the boards. Lockerbie can't control, back with Callum Watson. He's going to have to go alone here. It's 2 against 1. Watson by himself, as we said. Stanton though came across, just over a minute left. Heiskanen is back on the ice for the Sharks. He was the one who got their first goal this evening with an emphatic finish. Lockerbie across. And then that falls nicely for the Finn, Heiskanen, as he carries it in, but then it won't sit for him and it just sort of evaded his stick, and that allows the Warriors to come back. Now David Longstaff, has he got one more trick up his sleeve? Picks out Ben Campbell, who fires. Oh, then the turn pass, but Stenton just got back and almost on the line, just blocked Lobby's shot, and that would have been his 4th goal of the evening. 40 seconds to go. Cleared by the Sharks as far as Smedley, who fires, comes back off the goalie Russell and then back into play. 30 seconds to go. Still Warriors 3, Sharks 3. Sharks have battled back well here to presumably get at least a point. And Henderson meeting the Warriors sandwich there. There's a heavy collision at centre ice. Tonner gets it back, drops it back in. Greetown's coming across to Henderson. And then Callum Watson, can he get away? One last push for the Warriors, 10 seconds to go. Across to Ross Murray, what a finish that would have been if he could have scored the winner there, but it's not to be. It's the Sharks with one final push. Ian Bowie, he will not get there ahead of Phil Edgar, and that will do it then. And well, that was unfortunate really that the Warriors in the end didn't get the win in regulation time. As I say, do we still have overtime and penalty shots?
I think so, as far as I know.
Yeah, it looks that way. I think the officials are just trying to confirm it. It does appear that we will be going into overtime, and I didn't know if that was been removed now that the EPL teams had left. But well, the Warriors have never won in overtime or in a shootout, so now's the time to put that right, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. There's a first time for everything, and I tell you what, I mean, although I do think the Warriors have edged the upper hand in this game and probably deserved the points, the absolute hat tip to Solway for coming back from that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think all 3 of their goals were absolute corkers, and you cannot fault them for that. So we knew they're a tough team. We know they're good scorers, they're good defenders, and this game's just had everything.
It really has, yeah. Like you say, the Warriors will feel aggrieved perhaps that they haven't got the job done in regulation time, particularly given a 2-goal lead, but like you say, you can't write the Sharks off, and they showed tonight just what a good side they are. And if anyone thought this league was the Warriors to lose, it's really not that way, and they're going to have to fight and work hard if they do want to win silverware this season, because the Sharks have proven that they're still the team to beat, I think.
Absolutely, it's definitely not going to be an easy season by any stretch. It hasn't proven massively. Short the quality that we have over the last few days and the last 2 games of the season.
Yep.
It's definitely not an easy point to make, and I think these are going to be big contenders as well as Solihull, like you say. So
yep. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it just sounded like your mic had gone quiet there, but yep, we'll just reset the mics. They're brand new mics as well, so no excuses. So the Warriors are going to go with Dean Holland, Ben Campbell and Harry Harley, but it's the Sharks who come out with it. Stenton fires, deflected off Harley, I think, and away from goal. Lawson was readying himself for the save, but Dean Holland looking to get it past his man. Kerr is out on the ice, and Ben Campbell will try and go around his man, but once again, sweeper keeper Russell is out there straight away. Stenton goes around Heiskanen and Dean Holland there. He's up against Craig Johnson there. Quick change by the Warriors then. As Ben Campbell trying to get away. Oh, sorry, Jordan Barnes even. Presumably you'd want to keep Ben Campbell out on the 3-on-3 for as long as you possibly can. Jordan Barnes behind the net, behind the play. And then Carl Ross out there as well. He keeps it in the zone. Across to Roland's Greetowns, but he's too far out wide. And then Jordan Barnes. Greetowns again. Will he get a shot away? Fires. Good glove save over by Russell. And the first minute, it was almost done in overtime.
Have they changed the rule about the imports playing on overtime? Well, they must have with hands on the ice. I was under the impression that there was no imports on overtime.
I think, yeah, it was mentioned, wasn't it, originally when it first came in, but then I think that was removed because people did start putting their imports out, so I think they quickly did get away, or at least clarified that ruling, but as far as I'm aware they are allowed out there. As Gapper's out there for Solway as well, so presumably both teams are committing an offence if that was the case. As Watson gets it back. Sorry, no, it was Ben Richards in fact. Ben Richards across to Greetowns, now to Phil Edgar. Edgar round his man. Solway Sharks trying to shrink the ice here. Greetowns, can he fire? Straight into the logo though, but it was a good effort all the same. We're going to get a face-off, are we, in the Shark zone? Yes, we are, as both teams are going to go for a line change. Of course, this is 3-on-3 hockey, just like you get in the NHL. 5 minutes of 3-on-3 action, and then if the team still can't be separated, we will go into a shootout. As Callum Queen is going to take this draw for the Warriors now, up against Lewis Houston. It's Houston who comes out with it, picks out Kerr. Stu Antona's the other man. He's the player who tied it up for the Sharks at 3-3, the captain, who's spent the majority of his career as a forward, but converted back to a D-man last season, and he's playing there again this year. Queenan can't control, and Tonner's got the break on here. He's one-on-one here with Harry Harley. Harley's going to have to go with him. Great defending by him, but he can only find it clear it as far as Houston. Good save by Lawson on the follow-up, and then the Warriors looking to get that fast break, but just couldn't. Just over 3 minutes left. Carl Ross with the shot, fires, and it's bounced off Russell. Russell lost it temporarily there, but it just sat in the crease, but he still had the time to clear it before the on-rushing Ross nearly collected his own rebound. David Longstaff, he's first shift in overtime. Could he have a final say in this? Could he get his fourth goal of the evening and single-handedly win the game for the Warriors? It's a long clearance by the Warriors here, but Lewis Houston will gather. Stenton flicks on, and that's played in. Henderson's fired. Good save by the Noswall. He gave up the rebound, but Henderson had carried on his run, so it allowed the Warriors to sweep it clear. And then back up the other way comes Phil Edgar, centres it to Longstaff, couldn't control. Heiskanen will now gather. 2 minutes 20 to go in overtime. Heiskanen carrying it forward. Out wide to Henderson, back towards goal, but it was behind the net. No real immediate danger, but it's still with Heiskanen. Can he get his shot away? Johnson sticking to him like glue. And then that was cleared by Henderson. Not the best of passes, as Heiskanen had to move the other side of the rink to get to it, but of course 3-on-3 hockey enables much more space for the teams to work with, and now Jordan Barnes has been released with a great pass by Harley. Then the shot, bit of a tame effort, allows Russell to make the save. 1 minute 40 to go in overtime. Gapper will cycle it back round with Jordan Barnes keeping with him, keeping the forward check going and the pressure on. 1 minute 20 to go now. Ian Bowie out on the far side, slips it forward to Gapper. Gone round his man, can he finish? No, he's eased away. Good work by Ben Campbell. There's probably a question of maybe did he trip him on the way through. And then Bowie, can he win it? No, it's loose. The Noswall made the save, and now the Sharks are scrambling to try and get it back towards goal. They're still with the Sharks, and then the shot just flicks wide from Gapper. Great opportunity for the Sharks to win it there. Gapper again goes round the man, and they've scored. The Sharks have won it. And it's a Slovakian import, Gapper, who wins it for the Sharks. And once again, the Warriors have not won it. They've not got the job done in overtime. And that is a bitterly disappointing end to a game that they had well in their grasp at one stage.
Yeah, 5 seconds left on the clock on that as well. That's
1 minute. Is it 1 minute 5 or is it?
It's 5. I'm not
5
sure.
seconds.
Maybe minute 5.
Minute 5 left on the clock. Yeah. So great comeback by the Sharks. Let's not take anything away from them.